Hi there, it's Suzanne. I wanted to come on to talk a little bit about how to have relationships, happy relationships, joyful relationships. So if you're new to this page, welcome. I'm so excited that you're all here. My name is Suzanne, and I help people to relieve anxiety on demand, resolve chronic stress and trauma. And so if you're on this page, you're going to be joining us in this, what I call a revolution of social engagement, to be able to share your stress and struggle with us and learn some really amazing tools and tips that are really going to help you get grounded, be able to clear and process and resolve your stress, and be able to really propel you in the direction of whatever it is that you want in health and happy relationships. So if we're just talking about happy relationships, why are we in such stress and struggle with relationships? What are the conflicts that we're having? What are the challenges that we're experiencing in relationships? Do they come in the form of arguments, or do they come in the form of silence? What are they? How do we know that they exist? Well, I'm going to break this down really simple for you to understand. Whenever we have a stress and struggle, it's because we are living in emotional habits of the past. We're living in a belief system of the past, which shows up to us based on how we have memories. And so we're living in the present moment all the time, but yet when we reflect on the past, we are living in an emotional habit of how we experienced feelings and sensations from what we went through in the past that look like different storylines to us. So if you're really wanting to have a happy relationship in your life, what's keeping you from having the happy relationship is that time that thing happened, I haven't forgot about it. Now, you may not have conscious awareness to it, but you might just say, I'm always in a pattern of having these kinds of relationships that are stress and struggle to me. So whether you have a conscious desire of, I want to have a happy relationship, or you're just in the middle of what I call the tornado of your stress and struggle, which is the conflict and the challenges of relationship, and you're not being able to kind of shake loose from those memories and move through them, well, tapping is my favorite technique that helps us to be able to reprogram your stress, revitalize your energy, and reclaim your power. And what that really means is we're going to go into the subconscious mind, which is just your memories and what you store in your mind as what happened earlier today, what happened yesterday, what happened 5 years ago, what happened 10 years ago. And we go to those memories and we notice where we have certain emotional patterns about how we feel about those things, how we feel about those memories. We've got certain thoughts and ideas and beliefs that we have about those memories. And with that, we've got an attachment to them. Our body reacts to them. And we have, all of this is viewed through our unique perception, our unique perspective. So all of that combined keeps us living in the past. So if you truly want to have a happy relationship, it's write down right now what it is that how you would define a happy relationship for yourself. What kind of a relationship? Is it a romantic relationship? Is it a work relationship? It is a family, a friend relationship. Whatever it is, write down the top feeling characteristics of how you want to experience that relationship. Maybe you want to feel it with more ease, more comfort, more connection, more safety to be vulnerable, more trust, more loyalty. Whatever it is, you get to choose. You get to choose. And if you're not experiencing that right now, it's because you are either blocked from it, you're resistant of it, and the only reason why you would ever be blocked or resistant from anything is because you've got emotional patterns of habit and beliefs that are keeping you living more in the past than in your future. Because wherever you put your focus, wherever you invest your focus the most, is where you're going to get your result in your life. And so if you, at the end of the day, say, well, this always happens to me, this is the kind of relationship I'm in, it further compounds that program inside of you and keeps delivering it to you. And you can't get ahead of it if you keep reflecting on all of the details. I always say what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. All of those details are what keep us, and we regurgitate those details, and we call our best friends and we tell them about those details. But it's in the remembering of those details and those practicing those details that we stay stuck living in the past, and it is a really difficult time for us to move forward into the relationships that we want. So I want to do a little clearing of energies, which really means clearing of some of the old emotional habits and patterns and beliefs and all the details that we can get tripped up on every day, maybe talking to our friends about, or maybe we just replay those memories in our mind. And then really start to, dial down on what it is that you want. How do you want to experience relationships in your life, happy relationships in your life? What do those things look like, sound like, and feel like? And then really helping your mind make a shift from the old stories to being able to invest energy and focus in the new stories. You say, but Suzanne, I have so much evidence from the past. I mean, this thing really happened to me. Okay, so you're going to, in your focus of that, you're going to continue to get more of it. And I get that it really happened and it's your reality. But if you can't detach from it, you're not going to be able to expand and grow into the relationships that you really want. So right now, I just invite you to think about where you might have your mind going with regards to old relationship patterns. Always fighting with this person, always having a conflict with that person, always not liking this kind of person, feeling uncomfortable with this type of person, whatever it might be. Maybe there's an active storyline going on in your life right now where you're like, I really want my relationship to be better. Maybe I don't know if my partner's even possible to be able to be a better partner to me. Whatever it might be, just notice your stress and struggle when it comes to having challenging relationships. And whatever that detail is, just welcome that detail right now. And just notice it. Maybe it comes to you in the form of movies or storylines or pictures or sounds. And just notice it. That's always step one of tapping, is to notice what bothers you and how it bothers you. So if you're thinking of a memory right now, great. You're already ahead of us. That's awesome. Step number 2 of tapping is to give it an intensity number on a scale of 0 to 10. So how intense is that experience of this thing that you stress about and you struggle about with regards to your relationship? 0 meaning it doesn't bother you, and 10 is it really bothers you. Give it a number. And then step number 3 of tapping is to go to the part that stands out the most, the part where you're like, oh yeah, it's always it's what they said to me in that tone of voice. It's how their facial expression was when they said it. It's always how my body gets so anxious when they had this interaction with me. Whatever it is, just focus on that part of it. And it's going to get a little uncomfortable because we got to press on the pain just a little bit, because that's what it means to get to the root. We want to get to the root, because we're not just here to mow the lawn and make it look pretty. We want to get to the root of what is creating your stress and struggle. That way we can transform it and bring you to a place of really being able to propel you into the future of what it is that you want. So step number 3, go to the part that stands out the most. And then step number 4 is we're going to tap. So if you've been following along, great. Find that thing that bothers you, give it an intensity number, focus on the worst part of it. Now we're going to start tapping. So just start tapping between your eyes. If you've never tapped before, just follow along. It's really easy to do. Take your 2 fingers and tap between your eyes and repeat out loud after me. And say, I release and clear all emotional habits, all old stories, all details of what it looked like, sounds like, and felt like to be in those old memories. That relationship struggle, that relationship stress, so real to me. It really happened to me. How I'm connected to it, why I'm connected to it, how my body experiences that stressful relationship. And then tap on the side of the eye, take your 2 fingers, tap right here. Every single emotional aspect associated with this relationship struggle. Every reference from the past. Every time it's happened. The worst part about it. Whatever stands out. And then tap under your eye right here on the top of your cheekbone. What it looks like, sounds like, feels like. It's me living in the past. Whatever happened is over. If it's happened many times, it's because that's where I've put my focus. That's where I've stayed connected. That's what I believe. And I'm willing right now to process this through my body, through my mind, and let it go. And then take all 4 fingers, get a nice bounce on both collarbones, and say, it is safe to let it go. I deserve to let it go. It's possible to let it go. And I'm willing right now to let it go. Because I would love to end this stress and struggle of this relationship conflict, this relationship stress, no matter where it came from or what it means. I just let it go. I'm willing to let it go. Let it move through me, process through me, resolve through me, because I deserve peace. I deserve to come to a place of peace. And then take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times. Take a nice easy breath, blow it out, say the word clear. Good job. Now I want you to, in your mind, go to something that makes you feel really good. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Maybe it's a nice shower. Maybe it's a soft pillow. For me, it's like when I shave my legs and I get into bed at night and it's that smooth space between like the sheets and my legs. I love that feeling. Also, my favorite flowers are daisies. I love daisies. So just put your attention focused on something that feels really good, that you really, really enjoy. And then just fill yourself up with it from your toes all the way to the top of your head. And just feel really good. Make it a 10 on a scale of 0 to 10. And when you're there, start tapping between your eyes. And repeat out loud after me and say, this is who I truly am, naturally and easily. And tap on the side of the eye. This wonderful feeling is all mine. And it feels really good. And I can have it anytime I want. And it's amazing. And it feels really good. The best part about it. And it's all mine. And it feels so wonderful. And then take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times and take a nice easy breath. Blow it out. Say the word peace. Then go back to the relationship conflict. And notice, how are you feeling? Maybe you got a little tingly sensation in the body. Maybe you took a yawn or a spontaneous breath, or maybe you just feel like, oh, you get that kind of relaxed sensation in the body, like, oh, I could take a nap now. I'm so relaxed. Those are all signs of shifting. So whenever you want something, and for tonight's case, we're talking about happy relationships, you want to define how you want that relationship to be as best as you can in emotional feeling words, because the body experiences life through emotion. Secondly, we want to be able to go to what is in the way, all that detail and evidence of the stress and struggle that where your mind is spending most of your time. If your mind is, clear and you're able to write down what it is that you want and stay focused on that, awesome, do that. But most of the time when I ask people, what do they want? They tell me, well, I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. And I said, well, what do you want? Well, I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. So we go to what you don't want, because you know what you don't want, you know what it looks like, sounds like, feels like, tastes like, smells like, everything. If you knew what you wanted in the same way that you had the intense focus and belief and expectation on what you don't want, you would have what you want. But you don't have it yet. It's just where you put your focus. And sometimes the focus really can have your attention, because there's a lot of emotional impact and imprint associated to it. And that's what tapping is so brilliant to do, is it helps you detach from those emotional habits and patterns. That way you can process them through you. And once they're processed through you, you get to a place of peace and calm and compassion, and you can see things from a new perspective. And then you can give yourself what you want, not what you are struggling through. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, pop a question in the chat. Hi, Lynn Marie, thanks for being here. And let me know what your thoughts are. And now let's go to, now that we've cleared some things, we cleared some of those emotional habits and programs. And if you're just joining us now, feel free to rewatch this on replay later. What we want to do now is we want to be able to add what it is that we want. So how do you want to experience a relationship? Maybe it's with comfort, ease, connection, joy, whatever it is. Write down how you want to experience a relationship. And then we want to be able to install that into the subconscious. And we do that the same way that we deprogram the subconscious, we can install directly using tapping. So maybe write your list of things down. How you want to feel in a relationship, how you want to experience in a happy relationship. And then we're gonna tap right now on it to kind of install it. And since I don't know what it is exactly you want, feel free to use your own words when we're going through the tapping and follow along with what it is that I share as well. So just start tapping between your eyebrows and say, I welcome and invite loving connection, ease and flow, joy, happiness into my life, clearing any blocks or barriers to having these wonderful emotions, deeply satisfying connections where I am validated and understood, where the other person is validated and understood, where we're safe to be vulnerable together and exchange our ideas and collaborate. Wonderful relationships are so easy for me. It's safe to communicate who I truly am and be received by my partner, by my friend, by my coworker, by my family. Building new emotional habits, having new thoughts that create new beliefs around these beautiful emotions of feeling connected, in joy, and in happiness. Putting all my focus on what makes me feel the best, what makes me comfortable, what feels easy, and building from there, building new patterns inside of me that stem from joy, clearing anything in the way of doing this. These new emotional habits, I'm going to practice them every day, putting my focus where I see happiness, no matter how big or small it looks like, sounds like, feels like. If it's happy and it makes me feel happy, I'm putting my focus there. I deserve to be happy. A part of me has always known that I'm worthy of happy relationships, wonderful connections. And I've had them sometimes. And I invite more of them now into my life experience, clearing any blocks or barriers in the way to having this for myself. Happy relationships are possible for me. They're safe for me to have. They're necessary for me to feel good about life, to get my needs met. I deserve to get my needs met. First, I'm going to focus on happiness. I'm going to believe my worthiness of happiness. And I'm going to seek it every day. And when I get distracted, I'm going to tap and shift my focus back to joy. And take one hand and squeeze the opposite wrist a couple times. Take a nice easy breath. Blow it out. Say the word peace. And then just notice how you might be experiencing this right now. Maybe you feel like, oh, it's possible. See, when you are walking around day to day, you're living with your subconscious programming, which maybe you installed, maybe you didn't, maybe you inherited, maybe you were just strongly influenced by the world, society, religion, culture, whoever, your family, jobs, wherever. And you're walking around as like just a walking emotional habit and belief system of things from the past. And yet you have this conscious idea of, I want to be this way now. But yet the conscious mind is not controlling your everyday. You really have to go back to those specific emotions and patterns that stem from, that come in the form of memories and records and thoughts and pictures and sounds and things that we've got recorded inside of our subconscious. And then when we access that, while we're tapping at the same time, we're moving that through our energy body, we're moving that through our emotional body to be able to come out the other side. And coming out on the other side gives us an opening to be able to install what it is that we want. So I invite you to use this format for yourself, or for whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. Maybe happy relationship, maybe something else. You go to what you don't want and you tap on all the detail of it. And then when you feel peaceful and calm about it enough, then you can install what it is that you want. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I look forward to reading your comments and questions. And every Wednesday I'll be on again to do we've got Tapping Open House on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you have any tapping topic ideas for this Wednesday's show, then just let me know. And as always, I invite you to pop on my calendar, put 30 minutes on the calendar for us to get together and connect, and I can help you make tapping personally work for you and get you jump started. And as always, thank you so much for being a part of this beautiful group. I am just so blessed that you're all here, and I appreciate so much all of your engagement and sharing and being involved on the group page. It really does mean so much to me. I've had the group now for about a year, and it has been just such a joy for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I hope this video was helpful. If so, leave a thumbs up for me, leave a comment for me, and I will see you on the next video.